The U.S. presidential election is in the final stretch with former Vice President Joe Biden waiting for the last handful of electoral college votes. Our correspondent Delia Comey in Washington will brief us with the latest updates on the U.S. elections. Good afternoon, Delia.
Good afternoon.
Delia, what is the situation currently like as the U.S. is counting the presidential election votes?
Right now, Biden is gaining on President Trump, even in Georgia and even in the states that Trump was holding his lead in them. Biden was only needed the electoral votes from Nevada to win, but right now he is gaining on all states that are pending. The 4 states that are pending, he's still gaining on him. President Trump had addressed the nation yesterday in the evening, and he claimed that the elections were forged, and there is some kind of play that they started to count. He was gaining, and then all of a sudden, all his gains and went to his counterpart or to Biden. There is very little legal ground that he can do. He threatened to go to the Supreme Court. He threatened to, of course, he already has legal cases in both Wisconsin, where he asked for a legal recount, and a recount is allowed by the American Constitution in the event that the difference between the votes between the two contestants or between the two nominees is less than 1%, which is the case with Wisconsin. So he asked for a legal recount. He threatened that he's going to have legal suits against the 4 or the 5 states that are pending for now, and going to the Supreme Court. For now, Biden is the only candidate that's closing on the 270 electoral votes needed for winning the presidency.
Delia, and how is the global COVID-19 pandemic affecting the presidential race?
Of course, the COVID-19 has cast its shadows over the voters, and this is how Biden is actually gaining, because he attacked President Trump throughout the campaign and his performance to overcome and to contain the virus, which has started already what they call the second wave here in the United States. The cases are rising sharply. The past 2 weeks have shown not only the rises in cases, rises in hospitalizations, and the spread of the virus once more as it started back in March. Biden has asked his supporters to vote by mail, and this is exactly what's happening now. The voters who cast their votes by mail is what's causing this delay in declaring the President of the United States, because the Supreme Court declared that anyone who voted on or before the 3rd will still be counted. So they have to count for every sound, every voice that was already cast in the ballot. So the ballots with the mail are arriving late, which is what's causing all this delay, because they started counting them now. Most of Trump's supporters actually went physically to the polls, and they went physically to vote. So what's causing all this mess and all this delay is the votes that are still arriving by mail till this moment, and they're being counted. I think that the COVID-19 is one of the things, most of the political analysts, this is one of the main things that actually set President Trump back and made him lose states that Biden has been able to flip from red to blue because of the COVID-19.
Thank you, Delia.
Thank you.